Have you ever heard the saying, think outside the box? Well, in this chapter, we're going to learn how to do just that. In this case, we're talking about thinking and working a little bit outside of the QuickBooks box. We'll take QuickBooks information, but we'll use it in different ways. We'll be able to create letters for our customers, synchronize information with Outlook, create reports and graphs, and even share information with an accountant. Being able to use QuickBooks beyond the borders of QuickBooks is really what extends it and gives us the power behind the QuickBooks software. Probably one of the most common ways that people share information, of course, is through correspondence or letters. These days it could also be email. QuickBooks actually has a feature that will allow you to write letters using your QuickBooks information, which certainly can be useful. It's kind of like writing a form letter, except you have the nuances in there that doesn't make it a form letter. It's not generic, dear customer, we're so glad you've been a customer of ours for so long. It actually can have people's names and addresses and figures and things from QuickBooks included. So let's take a quick look at how we can work with some of the letters, the templates, or create our own that come installed with QuickBooks. We do that by going to the company file and coming way down to the bottom where it says prepare letters with envelopes. And then you'll see there are a variety of different categories. There are some collection letters, customer letters, vendor letters, employee letters, letters to the other names list, which is one of your lists that you have in QuickBooks. And you can also do customize letter templates. Let me go ahead and just choose customer letters so we can see what that looks like. If by chance you're working in different folders, it can't find them, it will ask you if you want to go ahead and install them from a location you know of. Or if it finds them in a different folder, it'll just say, it's not in the same folder as your program files, but I do know where they are. Do you want me to go ahead and link them in? Either one of those would be a good time to say, yes, it is, because it'll do the work for you. You also, of course, could create your own templates in your own folder and never have them populated here by simply saying, no, I don't want you to use any of the pre-built ones, just use the ones that I tell you to. And it will simply open up with a review and edit recipients. Because we've told it we want customer letters, it's already gone to our customer list. It's also gone out and looked for templates on our computer. In this case, we're working with our customers, and on the left-hand side, we can say we want to include names that are active, inactive, or both, and create a letter for each customer or job, because remember, with large customers, we may want to narrow it down to information for a specific job, not for the customer as a whole. You then can use the check marks to mark or unmark anybody that you do or do not want to include, and then you click on Next. Here are the different templates that they have built in, things like birthday cards, denial of credit applications. You can also do a blank customer letter, or at the very bottom, you can create or edit a letter template. I'm going to do that just because I want to show you what's possible. So with that selection, I'll click Next. Our option then is to create a new letter template from scratch, to convert an existing Microsoft Word document to a letter template, or to view or edit an existing template. Well, I actually happen to have a Word document that we can use, so we'll choose that middle option and click Next. And then I need to find the file name. So let me go ahead and click Browse and navigate to the folder that I need to get to. And the letter I'm looking for is called Change of Address 2009, and I found it, so I'll give that a double click. Notice before I do so that at the bottom of the screen it does say that it's looking for DOC or DOCX files. Just as a hint, if you haven't worked with this yet, DOC is the file extension for Word before Office 2007. So Office 2003, Word 2003, Word XP, Word 2000, all of those. DOCX is for Word 2007 files. Just to let you know that this software is up to date and working with the latest version of Office that we have at the moment. Now I'll go ahead and double click on that. The next thing it says is what type of letter do I want to create? It is a customer letter. And then I can go ahead and click Next, and it tells me I can select lots of different things. So let's do Next and let it get launched. Say OK. And then we wait for just a few seconds. And I can say, before you know it, my letter's actually open. This is, of course, a very simplistic letter. I just want to show you what's possible. It's about us getting a new training facility and changing addresses. What I also want to show you is that this is the Office 2007 interface. So if it looks a little strange to you, it's probably because you're not using 2007. 2007 has replaced the menus with tabs. And across the top, you will see that the very last tab is called Add-ins. If I give that tab a click, then we see the features for QuickBooks. insert company fields, insert customer name fields. So this is how we can start to customize a letter, which I'm going to do. I have the word dear in here as a salutation, but I need to put in their first name. I'll put in a space, come in to use some of my QuickBooks fields by using the drop down, and I'll say first name. Notice that I could also be formal. I could put in Mr. or Ms. and their last name as well. This is kind of a casual, fun letter, so I'll just put that in, followed by the comma. The trick with all kinds of form letters is to make sure that your formatting and your wording is going to fit with all of the data. I know all of you have probably seen some very stilted letters that just don't seem to fit. You need to be very careful. You get better at it with time, but that's the trick to making a form letter that doesn't look like a form letter. Now let me go back up to our drop down because that's the most important thing here. I just want to show you that virtually everything is here. Company names, contact names, the currency that they work in, their addresses, phone numbers, faxes, alternate numbers, the terms, the type, the rep name, credit limits, and it goes on and on and on. Here's the entire list. So there's all kinds of information, and I did want to point out that at the very bottom is a field called OS and one called software. This is another place, other than just in forms and reports, where I can see my customized fields. I created these fields a long time ago, and it's part of every customer record. But now I could say something like, if you need, and then I could put in operating system, training. So if you need Windows Vista training, if you need Windows XP training, do you see how that can make a customized letter? That would make it very nice. So let's go ahead and click out of that. I just want to show you what this is. Just put in their first name. Pleased to inform you that we have all of this stuff going on. You would normally enter all of the different fields to customize the letter as you saw necessary, and then we'll save it and close it. I'll go ahead and use Alt-Tab to get back to QuickBooks. And our little wizard is still here and it's still open. So now what are we going to do? We've created a new letter template for the letter type customer with the name Change of Address 2009 using this new letter template. So let's click the button at the bottom that says Use It. We kind of start over at the same place again where we're going to choose all of our customer names. Next. Change of Address 2009 is now in our list. That's the template I just created. Next. This is a signature, and it's going to be my signature, so normally we'd put that in, but I already have that in my letter, so I'm going to leave it blank. And QuickBooks will now take a few seconds to a few minutes to generate each of the custom letters. And when it's all finished, you're going to get a Word document that opens up. Each letter will take a page, or maybe I should say each customer will make its own letter. I had a one-page letter. I had 5 customers, so if we look down at the bottom left corner of the Windows screen, we'll be able to see page 1 of 5. So 1 letter per person, and mine happened to be 1 page. If you had a 2-page letter, of course, it would be doubled. At this point, you can go ahead and edit any of your individual letters. You can add in some comments or notes if you want to, or you can just go ahead and save it, or you can also print it. This is a Word document, just like it was created from scratch, except you didn't have to recreate it 5 times. You just had to click a few buttons within QuickBooks. The benefit of this, of course, is you don't have to rewrite letters. If you do monthly collection letters or you do send out birthday letters or things like that, you're simply going to be more selective than I was. I sent this to every customer. When you get that original screen, you can choose which kind of customers you want, or just go through the list and select individual customers, and that'll make it a lot easier. But the good news is you don't ever have to rewrite the letter. It'll be customized, but not because you had to write it every week, every month, or every year.